Are we ready, guys?
I'm ready. Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Niryatayami Chedam Soki Chonam La Chanchu Bardu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Chunyen Gipe Sanamgi Drola Penchir Sange Druparsho Chedam Toki Chonam La Chanchu Bardu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Chunyen Gipe Sunamki Rola Penchir Sange Druparsho Chedam Toki Chonam La Chanchu Bardu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Chunyen Gipe Sunamgi Rola Penchir Sange Druparsho Shogi. All right then. So here's the progress we made on this text. So we've done about 2.3 folios per turn. The text is 50, so we're looking at 24 terms total.
The computer is out of battery.
Oh, you're right. Wait, did I do that math right? I'm questioning it.
7 folios.
Wow.
Yeah, that's 2.33.
33.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Roughly right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we need to speed up.
It's gonna be flying cars.
Wow.
Yeah, you're about 3 years behind.
Roughly. It'd be less. It'd
Roughly
be a little
it'll
less.
speed up.
22. Yeah. It used to be like 22.
Okay. We have 8 sets of vowels to cover. We covered 2 already, which are Nienne and Genyen.
The 1 day vowel.
One day vowel.
Yeah, and the
no
And the lifetime layman's vow. And now we reach Getzo.
novice monk.
Novice, monk, or nun.
Or nun.
Okay, Getzo and Pama. Okay, and yeah. Okay, so here we go. Please read.
Dua lang la ge zu gi dom pe mi tum chok su sum pa la chok ge
Choge.
kap su ge zu gi dom pa tom pe chuk tu pang
Bang. Yeah. Does Chinese have pa?
Yes.
Everything's pa.
Yes, we have bang.
Okay. Bang cha.
Bang cha chu po ka len du chu pe go ne dam ga jo la dam ngak jo la.
Okay, here we go. Dua lung means in the scriptures on the Vinaya. Okay. They talk about Getsuki Domba, the vows of a novice. By the way, when they don't say ma or pa, when they don't say Getsu ma or Getsu pa, you can just say novice. Then it's a novice monk or novice nun. Okay. So in English you can say a novice. Okay.
A novice.
This is, by the way, basically the same as a Christian monastery where they have, what do they call that?
Acolyte?
They watch you for a while.
Oh, there's like
It's
a
called
year.
a novice.
There's a name for it.
Postulant.
Probation.
It's like probation, yeah.
That's not what
They
it's
watch
called.
you.
Postulant.
Is there a name?
They watch you for a year, they watch you for 2 years. So in Buddhism it's called Geitso. You get 10 vows. You can also call it 36. Standard is 36. It's usually called 36 vows. And you get to keep them for a while and they see how you do. What's that? What do you call it?
They don't call it that.
Initiate?
Plebiscite. She's calling it a plebiscite.
Anyway, something like that.
That's
No,
Kidombe.
No
Plebiscite.
officiate.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Mi Tunchok. What's Mi Tunchok?
Mi Tunchok.
It's a slimy insect.
Mi Tunchok, I like to translate as what works. Come on, help me out here. My voice is. Mi Tunchok means what works against something. Okay, so like the Mi Tunchok of patience is not getting enough sleep.
Right.
You know, not eating. What were those 3 that we had?
Oh, hangry.
There's an acronym.
Tired.
Tired.
Hungry.
There's 2
In
more.
pain.
No.
Anyway.
Sick. Yeah.
Sick. Anyway, Mi Tunchok means what works against it. Chu. There's 10. So there's 10 things that work against the novice vows. Sumba are stated in the Vinaya scriptures. And similarly, chogekap means, and when you give the vows, so choga means ritual. Sometimes it's shortened to choke in 2 syllable words.
Yeah.
Like, don't choke. So when you give the vows, Geitsoki Domba Tope Juktu, after they get the vows, okay? Topa means get, Domba means vows, Juk means after. Okay. With an M, with an A, it means to enter. Ao Juk is to enter. They're both prenasal, which is nasty. Okay. Juktu, Bangja,
Waste 10 years to give them up.
No, the 10
things you should give up.
Oh, right.
The
right,
future participle. Things to be given up.
Just to be given up, right?
Pangja Chupo, those 10. Kelen de Jukbe Gone. This Jukpa means you get them to.
Accept that.
You get them to agree to keep 10 things. So this is in the advice that you give to a novice after they get the ordination. After the same ceremony. Before they go home. Here's 10 things you should keep. Okay, Gone, Tangak Jö means
Grant the advice.
Tangak Jö is it's a section of the ordination, which means the advices. At the end of the ordination, you say, here's 10 things you should do. Okay. Next section, please read.
Bang
Ja.
Bangja Chu Po De
The Tibetan C is Chu, Ja,
Chu
not TZ. Chupo.
Chu Po De Dak Lang De Zo
Truk.
Chuk Tu Kyo Suni
Good, nice. Okay. Say Langde So Druk.
Lang So Du
Langde So Druk.
Langde Soju.
36 So Druk.
Oh,
Okay. Sumju So Druk. So the novice has 36 vows. Okay. You can. The 10 are advices that you give, but really the 10 can be included into the 36. So normally, when someone's a novice, you teach them 36 vows. Those vows are called Langde.
Lang De
Lang means you took it, past tense of len. De means you went beyond it, you broke it. So transgressions of what you agreed to. You know, not doing what you agreed to. Lang ba le depa. You went beyond what you agreed to. Okay. So it's called Lang Days. Take goes. Take goes.
Take when?
You took them, but you go beyond it. They're take goes. 36 take goes.
Take Go
No, I was just going to say tacos.
They're called Long Day. Yeah, tacos good too.
36
Now,
Fish taco. Food taco. Chocolate taco.
Tripe.
this is a note to myself.
Oh.
Okay. I made a beautiful document with all the monks' vows in it, which I use for my own purposes, and it helps a lot on the next section. Damlaki Kapsu. So he's going to show you how the 10 relate to the 36.
Oh.
Okay, the 10 are the advice you gave to the novice after they got ordained. The 36 are technically the 36 vows they have to observe. Okay? So he's going to show you which of the 36 go into which of the 10. So it's an opportunity to learn the 10 and it's an opportunity to learn the 36. Okay? And I think this document, if you finish it in 100 years from now, will be important for people because a lot of people take these vows and they have no idea what they're supposed to do. And a lot of the people who give vows don't explain them or they don't know them. So I think this book will become very popular, especially by foreigners who want to take these vows. But to be honest, the people in the monastery don't know them either. Okay, so anyway, it's going to be helpful for everybody. Damlaki Kapsu, when you give the advices at the end of the ordination, hang on.
Don't kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, actually, this gets more complicated, and it took me a long time. Those are all my notes. He's actually going to relate them to the monk's vows, full monk's vows.
Oh.
Okay, so to understand this next section, you have to understand something about the full monk's vows. 253 vows. Okay, and they're divided into groups.
Right.
So I'm going to give you the names of the groups because what he's really going to do is relate the 36 to the full monk's vows.
Oh.
Okay. And then we'll get to that later because it's in your text. But I threw it in here for you somewhere. Okay, I want to do this with you first. Okay, this is what he's going to teach you later about the full monk's vows. But they are grouped into certain categories. And then when he explains the novice monk's vows, he's going to say this relates to the full monk's vows category number 3, or this relates to the full monk's vows category number 4. So if you don't know the full monk's vows categories, you can't translate this part. So we're going to go jump ahead in the text, and we're going to cover those groups. Okay. So the first group, we can even put little numbers in here. Yeah, Pamba is the first group, most serious group. If you break them, you lose your vows. And they're called downfalls, defeats. What's Mipam?
Maitreya.
Yeah, Maitreya's nickname is Ajit. Ajit. Cannot be defeated. Ajit. So, Jit means defeated. Okay? So these are Jit, you got defeated. And there's four very serious ones for a monk. We'll talk about them later. Okay. Then there's 13 called plakmas. Okay.
Leftovers?
Yeah, they're called leftovers. Plakma means leftover, as word knows. Like leftover watermelon juice or something. It's called plakma. Okay. What's plaktong?
Leftover noodles?
Vipassana.
Vipassana. Yeah, so sometimes flak means special, and sometimes flak means leftover. Okay. 2 o'clock.
Oh yeah, 2 o'clock.
Leftover 2 o'clock. You got 2 o'clock left in the refrigerator? By the way, every day take away your stuff in the refrigerator. The refrigerator should be empty by the time everybody goes home. Don't leave stuff in there for 6 weeks, okay? I'm just anticipating. We had this at my job.
Can leave the half.
So plakma means leftover from the pampas. You see, they're beyond, they did the pampas and they said, oh, these are pretty serious too. Well, let's put these in the second category. There's 13 in us. Okay.
Now how do you call it?
I don't know. I'm not going to give them names yet. Roughly, you can say other ones. Extra ones. Okay. Pangtung, 30 pangtungs. Okay. Pangtung.
Eliminated?
Things you have to give up.
It means
The give-ups.
downfalls that you should give up. Pangtung.
Bangtung.
And they have other technical names, which is a problem. Bangtung isn't the only name for them.
Okay.
Bangtung means 30.
30.
Okay.
Jeez.
Dungje means fallizer. Bashik means simple fallizer. Less serious downfalls. There are 90. Then the fifth group is called to be individually confessed. Individual confessors. And there's 4. Okay. The fifth group has 4. Generally they get less serious as you go. Okay. Then Nyeche just means boo-boos. Bad did bad.
10,000 of those, you said?
112.
112 boobies.
Somebody want to add them all up?
253.
Okay.
No, I'm joking.
Well, come on, do it. 4 plus 13 is 17. Plus 30 is 47.
47.
90.
Plus 90 is
137.
137. Plus 4 is 141. Plus 114.
Push 112.
Plus 112, yeah.
253.
Yeah. Okay, so those are 6 groups. They're just important because when he explains the novice vows, he's going to say these are equivalent to the monks' first group. These are equivalent to the monks' second group. Okay. So we're going to go back to the monks. By the way, here's the list of the 36, which he never gives. And I went and got them for you. And those are from Mama Quicksilver. Okay. Yeah, Mutu Dambana. Okay, here we go. So Damalaki Cups, I put ABC for the 10, and I put 1, 2, 3 for the 36. Okay? So A, B, C, D, E, F, H, I, J. So the 10 advices you get at the end of the ordination relating to the 36 vows of a novice. But he throws in the groups from the full monks. So there's 3 things going on here.
Yeah.
You've got groups from the full monks vows.
Yeah.
You got novice 36, and you got novice 10, and he's telling you which belong to which, how they relate, how they integrate.
Can you give me your key again?
ABC is the 10 advices, which translate to the 36 vows you have to keep, and then he's gonna go further, although he doesn't tell you, and he's gonna relate them to the groups of the monks' vows. So there's going to be a correlation of the 10 to the 36, and the 36 to the groups of the 253, to the 6 groups.
And the numbers are?
These groups here are, the numbers are the 36.
The 36, okay, thank you.
And the letters are the 10, if I remember. So, okay, let's just do it and then you'll understand, okay? When you give them their advice after the ordination, before they go home, you say, don't kill things. Do you agree not to kill things? Okay, that's one of the 10, first of the 10. And they say, yes, I agree not to kill things. This corresponds to, for a monk, for a full monk, okay, for a full monk, Sokchuki Pamba, killing a human or a fetus, a human or a human fetus. One of the first 4, one of the big bad deeds, group number 1. Okay. And it also relates to 3 of the Tumche, which is, I think, group number...
6.
No. Nyeche is...
4.
Third group, 4th group. So much lesser group is to take a dundo.
Animals.
Yeah, and that means to strike an animal. Okay, to beat an animal. Okay. Or, I'm sorry.
Kill a human or animal.
Yeah, that means to beat. Ch means to, I think, use them, and I'm gonna check it.
That's how you taught it in course 9.
And for ch means to kill them. Okay, so beating, overusing, or killing an animal. Okay, so I think the second one is where you overload a horse or something like that. Okay, Dung Jae Sum, those 3 So Dungwa Shu Zepa Dan Tumbar. Therefore, in the I'm sorry. So those are 3 lesser monks' vows. Okay. So you got 4 total, 4 bad deeds here: killing a human or a fetus, 1; beating an animal, 2; overusing an animal, 3; killing an animal, 4. Okay. Total of 4 bad deeds. Tumashi. Zepa Dan Tumbar. In keeping with those for monks, here in the novice we have 4 vows, 4 of the 36. Okay, and I'll go show. Here's the list of the 36. Okay, number 1, what?
No killing a human or a human fetus.
Yeah. Now, actually, what I said for Dep, he's more exact. He says, Sok Chak Dang Che Chun Dep. Use water, which has small creatures in it. So it doesn't mean to beat. Okay? And the same word can mean to throw water on the ground to keep dust down. So for Quicksilver, it means to carelessly use water that might have little creatures in it to wash. So the depth here doesn't mean beat. It means use. Okay, use water that has small creatures in it. Okay, so you have to change this. Depth here doesn't mean beat for Quicksilver. Sok Chakdan Che Chur Chur, and to use that water, which has small animals in it, is the 3rd one. Okay, so it's not to overuse a horse or something for Quicksilver. It's to use water which has small creatures in it. To drink it. Like that.
Without straining.
And that's why in the old days, one of the things they would give you as a monk is a strainer. It's one of the required accessories.
That's the 2nd or the 3rd?
3rd.
What's the difference between that and chut?
Dap means to use it to wet the ground from dust, or to use it to wash.
Okay.
And then this chur, I take it to be long chupa, which means to use it for drinking.
Okay.
Okay. And then 4 is he adds some shindu, knowingly kill animals. Okay, like not by walking across the grass. Right. You don't break a vow. Okay.
Would it be purposefully though, or intentionally?
Yeah. Yeah, knowingly. You can say intentionally, yeah, that's okay. So now we have different meanings of these, okay? 2nd one, use the water. 3rd one, take the water. 4th one, kill. Okay, so there are 4 kinds of killing in the whose vow?
Novice.
But they also relate to in the full monk's vow. Okay. You okay? First group, okay. First 4. Now we go down now. By the way, I got all that, He said also if you use water for fire. Okay. Okay. To put out a fire, and you kill the animals in the water.
But you're saving the animals in the forest.
You're what?
You're saving the animals in the forest.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Bodhisattva vows. Good luck.
Okay.
Strainer first.
Now, B means what?
It's the next one of the 10.
Good. It's the 2nd of the 10 that you tell him at the end of the vows. Start with
Stop lying.
I'm going to say 6 classes of severity. It relates to, the next one, yes, yeah, give up lying. Okay, don't lie.
The Kailan law is like the thing you've accepted about giving up lying.
Yeah, Kailan.
Uh-huh.
Take with your mouth, which means to agree to, commit to. Okay. So the next of the 10, you tell the person, look, number 1, don't kill things. Number 2, don't lie. Okay. But that lie, in the Gelongika, what's that mean?
Full monks.
When we're talking about a full monk, it's the first in the Pampa class. Class number 1
Oh.
is Jun, to lie. I don't know if it's the first.
I thought the first was killing.
No, first is sex. I'll just put.
Lying about sex.
Oh, I'm just gonna create this. Okay. Jungi Pamba means to lie, but the Pamba has to be what kind of lie?
About your spiritual life.
Yeah, a big lie about your spiritual life. I saw Tara yesterday.
How is she?
People used to come up all the time to Rinpoche and make all these wild claims, and he just looked disgusted. You know, he would just look at them like, you know, do you know what you just did? You know, like, you know, I saw emptiness yesterday morning. It's kind of purple. One guy told him that.
It's kind of purple.
Yeah.
Being any other color.
Sometimes it's strange.
No, and they don't realize it's a very serious bad karma
Sure.
to make these claims about your spiritual life. Okay.
Because they believed it.
Yeah, did they believe it? Okay. These get complicated, which you can already guess from the numbering. Shi Mein means no foundation. There doesn't exist a foundation. And in Vinaya, this refers to accusations to another person with no evidence. So no foundation means you broke your monk's vows. How do you know? I don't know. I just think so. You see what I mean? There's no evidence. You don't have any evidence. Yeah. You just want the other monks not to like them. But that's called shime. No foundation.
And is it just about the
It can
habit, or it can be about
So you can accuse of there's a shime for Pamba, there's a shime for Tsatung,
uh-huh.
there's a shime for Tungje Bashi, there's a
Wow.
it gets complicated. Bhaktam means with some evidence. Okay? But not conclusive.
You seem like the kind of guy who'd break that.
Okay, like there's some possible evidence.
Uh-huh.
Okay, like he did go to the movies with the lady, but we don't know what happened. Okay, that's called Bhaktam. Shime means he never went to the movies. Okay, alright. Genin Yen, you know.
You split the Sangha.
Yeah, extremely serious. Break up a spiritual group. Split a spiritual group into sub-groups. Okay. Dej Chok. Dej Chok is an idiom in Vinaya to support a schism. You weren't the one who started it, but you
Went in
said,
that
I'm with
direction."
this guy.
Right.
You know, I agree, you know, I agree with this guy. They just had a yen for the first time in 600 years, that ceremony.
Yeah.
You mean Sarah
It
Bunny's
just split into
split,
two ceremonies. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very, very terrible thing for the whole world,
Yeah.
that ceremony split into two parts. You know. So very serious.
Should we put this in the dictionary?
Yen or Chechok?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are all going to be Vinaya idioms, right? And that's why that what we're doing is so cool, because you are getting the idioms from mind-only school, you're getting idioms for lower middle way school. Vinaya idioms are totally different. You know, if you haven't been trained in Vinaya, you have no idea what they're talking about. Baksam. Yeah. Okay. Kim Sunjin, say Sunjin.
Sunjin.
Kim Sunjin means
Sunjin.
cause a layperson to be disillusioned with the Sangha. Do something which gives the monks a bad name. And then people say, oh, all monks are stupid, or all monks are drinking alcohol, or something like that. So you hurt the opinion of a layperson. And that's interesting, Sunjin. You know that Sunjin because it comes in
4 powers.
in the 4 powers. Which one?
I'll rip it out.
4 powers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which of the 4 powers is Sunjin?
No, it's restraint.
3, restraint.
I think it's number 2.
Oh, you're over.
3 is Chibale Landopetop. To stop doing it.
Intelligent regret is number 2.
4th is Nyambitop.
Antidote.
Yeah, but yeah, it's Sunjin Betop. It
Yeah.
doesn't really tear it out. Number 3 tears it out. It's a misnomer.
Okay.
But
That's what I thought.
there we go. Genki Top is the first one.
Foundation.
Okay. So anyway, it also, as I told you many times in DCI, is a word for rape.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very nasty word. Rape. To rape a woman is called sunjimba. It means like rip out the heart. There's this movie, Mohican movie. The guy rips out the guy's heart and waves it around. That's sunjimba. It means, it's a very, very unpleasant word. So here it's Kim sunjimba. Kimba means householder. Kim means house. Kimba means someone who owns a house, meaning not a monk. Okay. So those 5, they relate to the Hlagma class, which is the second class.
The leftovers.
These 5, Hlagme Tunga means they relate. Tunga here is using as a general word. Failure, transgression. Unfortunately, the same word is used for some of the classes. Okay. And in the Bodhisattva vows, it means a different thing, right?
Right.
And the Tantric vows, it means a different thing. Okay.
Really confusing.
I looked up Hlagma. This is the only person who gave an opinion, but anyway, it's Hlagme Tungje, like leftover from the Pampas. Okay. Okay, 13. Shishin de Zunmao.
Knowingly telling a lie?
Professor.
Yeah, tell a lie knowingly, but the implication is not about your spiritual life.
No, something other than.
Yeah, this is a hard one. Shing or Chepa. I wrote it down here because I had to go look it up. Say that another monk gave a sponsor a small thing from the Sangha stuff to get, so you steal something from the college, you give it to Mr. Wu and you say, I really like you. Like, you want to support my, blah, blah, blah. So Shengor means to butter them up.
Yeah.
This She means get to know. Lor means to their face. This is the She in the Geshe. So it means, literally it means to get to know them. But it means to butter up a sponsor. And the stuff you use is not yours. You steal it from the Sangha. You take something from the Sangha.
And this is specifically referring to a lie where you say that someone else did that. Is that right?
Yeah. He Shengor. Okay, he's Shengoring. Okay. He's just trying to butter up this other sponsor.
So he did it, but say other people did it.
Say other people did it. Yeah. So it could be false. Could be they didn't do it. Usually it means they gave something. The question is whether it was the Sanghas or not. And was he trying to butter up the person? Or did he just need an umbrella because it was raining? You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah, I had to look up this one. Chawa is an ancient unused verb. And it means to say you did a bad job. You're a schmuck.
Tried.
Yeah. And it means specifically, in ancient India, it was a big job every day. One monk would get assigned to take the mattresses outside and sun them in the sun. And if a rainstorm came, they were supposed to be nearby to put them back in the house. And then some lazy monks went and took a nap, and then the rainstorm came. And so to accuse another person of not taking proper care of the mattresses is this one. Okay?
Only if you're wrong, though, right?
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. We'll have to see. I believe it has to be wrong. Because it's kurwa. This is kundep.
Kundep, so underestimate.
Yeah. When they did take good care. I believe it's when they did take good care.
Not giving you credit.
This one's funny. Satung, sawa means things to eat. Tunga means things to drink. Food and beverage. Satung. So, whatever. Say means edibles. So say here includes sa and tung. Chung say means chung chung.
Small bit, little.
Just a little bit. Just for a little bit, he's teaching Dhamma. He's teaching Dhamma to get some food. He's just going there. He's just going to that house to teach those people because they make good pizza. You see what I mean? Accuse another person. Oh, he just teaches. He only comes to teach people who can give him a good lunch.
Oops.
It's an accusation of another man.
Yeah.
So a little what? To get a little bit of food? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. He doesn't even teach for a full pizza. He'll teach just to get a single piece of pizza. That's how bad he is. Okay, choose just a couple bites of pizza. He'll show up at your house and recite the Heart Sutta.
I'd consider it.
Again, kurwa, underestimate, like accuse someone wrongly. Okay. This lakme kurwa, which literally means accuse with a leftover, means to accuse somebody of a wrong deed in the leftover class.
Yeah.
A wrong deed from the leftover class. You accuse them of doing it with shime.
Knowingly?
No basis. There's no proof. There's no evidence. So this one is the grammar will throw you off. Okay. It's to accuse somebody of having committed one of the second class bad deeds with no evidence. The other one was probably Pamba, I think. So that's what your question was, So it's all separate.
Sorry again, where does it say shime, or is that from?
I looked it up.
I
looked it up for you.
Thank you.
Chidu kase so pong shik che. Now, say chidu kase. It's a very, very famous, this is one of the words in Vinaya should be on your tongue. Chidu kase. Chido means afternoon. You can guess what the rest. Eating after noon. Chido means after 12 o'clock.
Is it saying not stopping to eat afternoon?
Wait, I'm not ready yet.
Okay.
It's a good question. So this is not the vow to not eat after noon. This is the vow to listen to someone who tells you, you've been eating after noon, maybe you should stop. Okay, this is a separate vow of being open to advice from your fellow students. It's a whole vow in the Vinaya. It's a whole theme of the Vinaya that you should be open to criticism.
Wow. That's cool.
When people tell you, I love you, this is not cool. What you're doing is not cool. Then you say, then you make this vow. Okay, you're not open to suggestions. I don't know why I have to see that. Okay.
So, but is this specifically only about the suggestion not to eat after noon, or does it imply just being open to suggestions?
It was soak here.
Cool.
Yeah,
not eating after
other
noon.
kinds of advice.
Whoa.
Okay. So, Chidu kase soak, bong shik. You should give up. You should stop doing that. But he says soak, etc.
Right.
You should stop going to visit girls and stuff like that. Okay. Shenki kulwa. Kulwa means someone really urges you. Kulwa means to urge somebody. Cool means
Always to encourage, right?
Yeah, they're like really urging you, don't do that. From my heart, I'm telling you, don't do that. You're gonna hurt yourself. That's kuwa. Shengi, some other person kuwa na. Yi che shindu. This is interesting. You have to believe what they say is correct. To break the vow, you have to, in your heart, you understand it's good advice.
Right.
And then you pretend that you don't understand, that you don't believe it. Che here means you pretend. Okay? So they say, look, you really shouldn't eat after noon. And you're like, come on, that's not such a big deal. But in your heart, you're like, oh yeah, I agree not to. But you pretend that you don't care. You pretend like, oh yeah, that's not a big deal. But in your heart, you got this thing like, yeah, he's right. So yi che shindu. This shindu is the present participle use of shindu. In the act of believing, you pretend you don't believe. Yiche Shindu, even as you, okay, in English, even as you believe what they say, you pretend
do it
that
anyway.
No, you pretend that you don't. You pretend that you don't believe. Chuma, the word chuma, which means artificial,
All right.
it comes up a lot in the Bodhisattva vow. Pretend bodhicitta. Chuma.
Cool.
What do you call it?
Sure.
There's a word.
Should be
Contrive. Contrive.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so you contrive. You pretend that you're like, who cares? But in your heart, you're like, oh man, he's right. But you still don't follow the advice because you're very stubborn. Okay. Then lapja means advice. Lapja means somebody else gives you advice. Lapa. Bong, you reject it. Those all belong to class number 3, I think it is. In Tsongkhapa's list, right? Is it Bongtum?
For the monks.
Well, isn't there another one called Tumches?
Yeah.
Bangtung is 3,
Maybe I'm-
Tungjae is 4.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Tungjae is 4.
Is it Tungjae Bashik? Or
Yeah,
Tungjae?
it's
What is number
Bashik,
4?
isn't it?
I thought it was just Tumches, but can you scroll?
Let's go back.
You have
I
1
didn't
minute.
get to it.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, we have to stop and.
Yeah, anyway,
That-
I think
that's
he's talking about Bangtung. Look, it's confusing because Tung is used loosely
Okay.
in these lists. Okay.
Time is up
It
again.
says Bangtung too.
We'd have to go look it up in the monks' vows and see. I looked it up and I checked it.
It's pound.
But let's go through it again. Let's do it again when we get back. Okay. So we're gonna go back to check this. There's a check this in vow list, and I'll show you the document. I really like it. I found pieces of it in different countries, and I pieced together a whole
Right.
copy.
Wow.
And it was a great. I thought it was one of the greatest, coolest things I ever did. But nobody cares. Anyway,
That's amazing.
it is an amazing document. And this is what I taught at Diamond Mountain once.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's in ACI 9, I think, and just not translated.
well, no, this is called a Dom Sum, which is a genre of literature. Dom Sum. They do Pratimoksha vows, Bodhisattva vows, and Tantra vows. So they invented books of vows. They're called Dom Sum, 3 vow books. And they give an explanation of the monks, of all the Pratimoksha vows, all the Bodhisattva vows, and all the Tantra vows.
Cool.
And the best one is by this Geshe, who was a tutor, I think, of the 10th Dalai Lama. And it was missing. And I found pieces of it all over the place, and I put it back together. But it's amazing.
Cool.
It's just amazing. Like that much is on the first vow.
Oh.
Whoa.
Okay. Well, there's the 4th vow. Sorry.
Is
I thought it
this
was-
what you were teaching at during the 3-year retreat?
Yeah. I taught it from here.
Yeah.
I used this one,
really
and it was amazing teaching. I have to
It
say,
was.
it got overshadowed by other events.
Sure
Yeah,
did.
it was a great
It-
teaching though.
It was one of the best teachings I ever did.
But
What
in
is,
a way,
what is the Geshe's name? Geshe?
Oh, I was afraid you were gonna ask me that.
Oh.
Okay, we should get ready there.
Sewang Sambu,
Oh
Sewang Sambu.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll put a question mark.
It's a brilliant book, and his tantric vows are beautiful, and his bodhisattva vows are
String of
beautiful.
it's not translated yet.
No, I translated pieces of it. It'd be a great book to translate. It could be your next one. It's a beautiful, beautiful. I mean, everyone should have a copy
Oh.
later who has bodhisattva vows or tantric vows. It's very useful. I use it to keep my book when I keep my book. I just don't want to do an extra bad deed and claim that I do it all the time. So here's the hot ones. See, here's the 13 leftovers.
Oh.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So we can use this list to confirm which tumwa he's talking about. You see, is he talking about Bangtum or is he talking about Tumje? These are 30 and they're grouped into groups of 10. And we can go through that. Okay. We can use it to confirm where we are. All right. That's Vinaya. The thing with Vinaya is to carry it over to your modern world. You know, like accuse. We do it, you know. We hint that Stanley's been doing this, but he hasn't been doing that, and we just say it because we have malice, you know. We're malicious. We're mean. We're jealous of him. They say, "Oh, Stanley's so smart," and you say, "Yeah, but you should see what he did last night," you know. And then we do it all the time. So, you know, there was this movie in America that teenage girls would call numbers at random and say, "I saw what you did last night," and then the whole movie's about how, you know, people commit suicide. And, you know,
oh my God.
But anyway, the point of the Vinaya is to take these ones and you know, like overeating. You know, it doesn't have to be eating afternoon. It says you eat too much.
Oh.
And that's just as bad. The point of not eating afternoon is that you know, you'll live longer. You would live longer. It's really really the Vinaya was as the Buddha designed it, was a green drink culture. It really was. It was a very intelligent culture. The monks' culture was very intelligent. You live longer, you're happier, you're more peaceful. And I kept it for 15 years. I didn't eat afternoon for 15 years. And when I started doing yoga in the morning, I had to eat afternoon. And then I started eating all the time. But it's a good culture. It's cool to modify it for Shenzhen Guru works, you know, Shenzhen Vinaya.
Shenzhen Vinaya. Sashi
Kuki Juxing Metokam Rira Blingshin Yende Gembadi Sangye Shindu Mite Uwargi Jokun Namda Shingla Juparsho Iram Gururana Mandala Kamiyatayami
Gewa
Di Geokun Sadam Yeshe Zotzok Shing Sadam Yeshe Lechung Wei Dampa Kunyi Toparsho
Shogish.